Great to have your company for day 2 of the Fiji Pro. And we have just seen a huge result for the WSL wildcard. Bethany Hamilton making the jump directly through to the quarters over Steph Gilmore and Joanne Defay. And we're now getting set to watch the current world number 2, Courtney Conlogue, take on Sage Erickson and Nikki Van Dijk in what should be another classic match. We have seen the wind pick up a little bit to throw their boards into some big critical turns. We've seen some huge numbers dropped already, and Courtney's going to try and get things started with this wave ridden during the break.
Well, one thing I like about this south wind is it's kind of making these surfers focus on maneuvers only, and holy smokes, that would have been the maneuver of the event had Courtney ridden out of that thing. Vicious snap in the white jersey. There's this blue behind her, Sage Erickson. A couple of Americans in this heat up against Nikki Van Dijk, and just a wobbly start there. But wow, Courtney looking super aggressive. So if you're going to go for safe cutbacks, the judges are going to see it, and you're going to get some 5s, you know. So if you're going to want to go get into the quarterfinals, you got to bring it.
Well, let's see if Nikki can just tighten up her approach to the critical part of the wave here. She's been a little bit out on the open wall in that first round heat, and on her first wave in this heat as well. And she is hanging on to a quarterfinal as her best result so far this season. Here she goes, using priority on this ride, gliding down the line. Strong first turn. She has a great backhand, Sage. It is probably her weapon, so she'd be looking to capitalise on being on the backhand. A tricky wipeout. A solid looking set wave here for Courtney. She drives off the bottom and drifts that tail, hangs onto the move. Almost lost control, but really willing to put it all on the line. Not holding back one bit. Really has to be amped on the way the results fell in the second round with Tyler bowing out. Let's have another look at Courtney's ride.
Setup carve right here. Look at the size that thing grew. Now watch the tail. Bang. Again, she threw herself right in the most critical part of the wave. She got underneath the deck of her board, got kind of upside down, and then put all that pressure on the back foot. In fact, she put so much pressure on it, so much power, so much oomph, that the fins had no choice but to slide. Right here, she's going to push on that back toe side rail and hucks the tail out the back. That was sick. So, I mean, you talk about critical, you talk about commitment. Judges are going to absolutely drop a big score on this. With, you know, they don't have a choice.
Heading down the track of the season as we'll send it back to Ronnie and Ross.
Thank you, Joe and Potts. As we see Nikki here just gliding off the top. Smooth approach, gets in another solid turn. You can see the swirl starting to fill in, and Nikki gets out of that one. And during that update, Courtney did have this ride. We're waiting on the scores to come through for this one.
So obviously she's on the hunt to grab a backup score with that 9. Keeping a foot on the gas. Very aggressive snap there to open it up. At this point, she knows she's sold the judges a big score. She just wants to finish it. And she keeps the hammer down. 2 more nice snaps there, so that should be a solid backup score for her. She's very strong. On top of that, she makes the perfect decision always. I never see her buckle mentally. She's very sturdy. You know, she's going to be around for a long time.
Well, here we go. This is Sage trying a great combination now. Has a smooth backhand approach and has already let go of 2 major turns on this wave. Decent read from Erickson, but doesn't get the big finish. But 2 solid turns at the start of that ride.
So we'll see. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this score falls under Courtney's 7.6, but a nice snap right there. Just a setup turn. This is where she hits the button just a little better. But as you can see, not 100%. You know, they're smooth, buttery, lots of spray, but you know, and I was wrong. I thought it'd be maybe a point under that. But one thing it is tough to see sometimes on your screen is the quality of the wave. And this was a smoker. You know, the 7.6 from Courtney was quite a bit smaller. The judges love when you can string together quality moves on a big wave. So, you know, all day long we've seen some of the scores that kind of went higher than I maybe anticipated. Judges love it when you're on a bomb. It's just as simple as that. You put your board up in a hook, it's going to result in an excellent score.
Well, the sections are bigger, obviously more critical. Sage dug in on those first 2 turns.
Doing my best, and I know I can surf and compete well against these girls, and yeah, I have so much respect for everyone here on tour, and especially like Tyler and Steph and Chris. I just love all their surfing, and I'm always cheering them on.
And what was the reaction, I mean, when you heard that you were going to get the WSL wildcard into this event?
I've just been totally dreaming of surfing, competing here at Fiji, and just surfing here. And my husband and our son and my filmer, Aaron Lieber, we all flew down like 8 or 9 days ago, and it's just been pumping since we got here, so it's just been such a blast. And I'm so stoked we have decent waves for the contest too, because it just makes it all the more fun.
And I was sitting next to one of the young Fijian surfers, little 10-year-old Keisha, and you know, I was like, do you know about Bethany? And she's like, I want her to win. I was like, have you watched Soul Surfer? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, did you cry? She's like, yeah. I was like, me too. So how cool is that for you to be sitting in Fiji just knowing that you're inspiring all these ladies and this whole generation of women surfers?
Yeah, I definitely feel honored, and I know I'm like in a unique position to hopefully encourage young girls to make great decisions as they're growing into women. And
in this second heat of round 3, have a look at this one. During the interview with Bethany, this was maybe the best wave of the heat so far, Ross.
He absolutely nailed it. That is a Willy Wonka golden ticket right here. This is one of the best waves I've seen all day. It didn't taper off. That wall stayed nice and tall, and it just kept peeling down the reef. That thing was so perfectly paced. It rolled down the entire section from top to bottom. And actually, you know, it looked like she kind of cruised a little bit on that wave, but because the wave was so perfect, and she, you know, put together so many maneuvers, she had what, 6, maybe 7 quality turns.
Boom.
That equates into a massive score, Ronnie.
A huge number for Courtney starting to roll through here. A 9.6, and she is well out in front. The highest heat score total of the event so far, 18.67.
Is the display on everyone's backhand. For, you know, a left-hander here, for Courtney, she seems nice and fluid. You know, we're so used to seeing her compete on her forehand, and she mixes it up nice on the backhand.
Here she goes again, on a smaller wave, so can really throw everything at it. And there it is. Just bashing away at this thing. This wave, half the size of her 2 9-point rides. So unlikely that she's going to better her situation on this wave. But just keeping the flow going. Still so much more to come from round 3 though. Some big heats. Carissa Moore is up next. Let's see how she responds to the great performance from Courtney. She's up against Bianca Batender, a former finalist here in Fiji, and Laura Enova, who took out Bronte McCauley in the last heat of round 2. Should be a fantastic clash. Looking forward to getting that one underway.
Well, the rest of the afternoon should be cool. The tide's going to drop out now. The swell should pick up a little more. So buckle up, because we got some exciting heats to finish this up.